Rodrygo sends emphatic message over Real Madrid transfer saga after preseason victory. The Brazilian winger found the back of the net in Los Blancos' 4-0 victory over WSG. Rodrygo has appeared to pledge his commitment to Real Madrid in the face of interest from Manchester City, with a report revealing Pep Guardiola's personal plea to the Brazil international, with City agreeing to loan out Jack Grealish and progressing in talks to sell both Savinho and James Emphatice to Tottenham Hotspur and Nottingham Forest respectively. The Manchester outfit are understood to be considering a move for Rodrygo, who is described as a dream target for. The links came 1 week after it was claimed that Rodrygo had already decided to stay and fight for his future in Madrid, aware he faces a battle to prove himself to new manager Xabi Alonso. After a summer which brought limited minutes at the Club World Cup, Rodrygo once again found himself on the bench in Real Madrid's preseason friendly against WSG. But he made a splash in just 29 minutes on the pitch, scoring his first goal in 16 matches. The 24-year-old took to social media following the club's 4-0 victory, writing, "Q in peace 25/26, which translates to, "Let it begin 25/26. The message aligns with Rodrygo's earlier posts on social media ahead of the match. He shared an image advertising the game, but his choice of the message, Hala Madrid, accompanied by a white heart, could be interpreted as an indication of his loyalties. Reflecting on Rodrygo's uncertain future in Madrid, Marcao revealed a phone conversation between the Brazil winger and City manager Guardiola back in 2024 after the two sides met in the Champions League knockout stage. Guardiola is said to have spoken at length to Rodrygo and his entourage about a possible move to City. At the time, the 24-year-old was not interested. His love for Madrid is no secret, but a significant drop in minutes could force him into a rethink. Fabrizio Romano adds that Guardiola is now pushing for City to make a move for Rodrygo, who will be allowed to leave Madrid if he requests an exit and a significant bid arrives. A price tag of €100 million, £86.5 million, $116.2 million has been set by Madrid. Los Blancos are happy to hold on to Rodrygo, who has not yet communicated a strong interest in leaving. Rodrygo has made his opinion of Man City clear as the former champions enter the race for the Brazilian. Rodrygo, 24, has been linked with a move away from Real Madrid to Manchester City. But what does he think of the Premier League club? This summer, the Brazilian has been linked with several English clubs, including Arsenal and champions Liverpool. However, on Monday, August 11th, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City entered the race to sign the Real Madrid player, with the imminent departures of James Emphatice and Jack Grealish, while Tottenham have inquired about a possible deal for City winger Savinho, according to The Athletic. As a result, this could open up space in the City squad for the possible arrival of the 24-year-old, who is not in the team's plans at the Santiago Bernabeu. On Monday afternoon, journalist Fabrizio Romano gave an update on the situation at the X network. Manchester City are considering a move for Rodrygo after imminent departures. Grealish is out, Emphatice and Savinho could leave, and MCFC see Rodrygo as a dream target. Guardiola is a big fan. Real Madrid will let him leave if the player wants. They are asking around €100 million. What has Rodrygo said about City before? Firstly, it's clear that he enjoys playing against Guardiola's side, scoring 4 goals and providing 2 assists in just 9 games against the English club. He has even stated that his last gasp brace against City in the 2022 Champions League semi-final changed a lot of things in his life. Speaking in 2024, Rodrygo said, "My status in football changed a lot after those 2 goals. People started looking at me differently. The 2 goals were a step forward in my career." Rodrygo referred again to that 2022 triumph during a press conference ahead of the Champions League playoff match between Madrid and City in February this year. On that occasion, the Brazilian explained, "It's the most special night of my career, and I hope it happens again." Speaking to the media, he also described Guardiola as a great coach, claiming that it is very difficult to play against his teams. Rodrygo admitted, "I don't really like playing against Manchester City. Nobody likes playing against City as much as they do against us. I've been happy after many games against them." Guardiola, too, is undoubtedly an admirer of Rodrygo. Ahead of the European playoffs earlier this year, he explained that it was impossible to control these 4 players, likely referring to Rodrygo, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., and Kylian Mbappe. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Liverpool told Crystal Palace desperate to sell Mark Guéhi as £35 million move edges closer. Liverpool have opened talks with Crystal Palace over a move for England star Mark Getty, with their Premier League rivals reportedly eager to make a profit on the player this summer. Liverpool have been informed that Crystal Palace are keen to offload Mark Getty while they can still turn a profit on the defender. Getty has entered the final year of his contract at Selhurst Park, and discussions between the clubs have now commenced regarding a potential £35 million transfer. The Reds have also been told that the Palace star surpasses Ibrahima Konate in ability. Palace supporter and broadcaster Rebecca Lowe has suggested the South London outfit are desperate to avoid losing Getty for nothing next summer, with the Premier League champions braced for a hectic conclusion to the transfer window. Speaking on It's Called Soccer, alongside former Arsenal star Theo Walcott, Lowe reckons her cherished club have been touting the centre-half, whom they acquired from Chelsea for £18 million in 2021. Two competitors as they seek to secure a considerable sum for the England international while they can. Questions over Getty establishing himself in Liverpool's first team have been an ongoing concern. However, Walcott believes the 25-year-old can oust Konate, 26, from his berth in Arne Slot's first. He believes the Englishman has the advantage over the French star due to starting regularly for the Three Lions. "I do think Getty is better," Walcott began, "because when you look at England particularly, and you talk about the centre-halves, we're talking about the two best centre-halves in the country when you're starting for England. And he's starting for England." Walcott's logic perhaps doesn't add up entirely when comparing the players against an international metric. Getty has played 23 times for England, matching the number of appearances Konate has for Les Blues, while the latter has also captained his country on one occasion in November 2024. However, Walcott remains adamant the transfer would be worthwhile for the Reds, as Getty would make an immediate difference. For Getty, he would fit into that Liverpool team, and they have the ball all the time, so he's not going to be challenged as much. Walcott added, "He'll get fitter, he'll learn so much. To play at Liverpool and be next to Virgil van Dijk, these opportunities might not come again." Liverpool are keen to strengthen their centre-back ranks, having allowed Jarell Quansah to join Bayer Leverkusen earlier in the summer. Van Dijk, Konate, and Joe Gomez represent their only three senior central defensive choices currently, with Konate entering the final 12 months of his deal and Gomez presently sidelined through injury. Palace chairman Steve Parish admitted losing GH for free would be a problem, and his departure this window now seems likely. Liverpool have now made their approach, with talks ongoing over a deal for Getty for a fee understood to be £30 million up front, with £5 million in add-ons. Personal terms have not yet been agreed with Getty. However, he's reportedly eager to make the switch. The Reds' interest in GH is thought to be separate from their chase for Parma's centre-back Giovanni Leone, as they also prepare to intensify their pursuit of the 18-year-old. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Alexander Isak decides he will never play for Newcastle again. Alexander Isak has no intention of playing for Newcastle again, with the striker reported to have informed Eddie Howe of his desire to leave last season. Isak remains out of contention for Newcastle heading into the new campaign and will not play a part in Saturday's Premier League opener against Aston Villa. The Athletic's David Ornstein reports that the Swedish striker is adamant he will never represent the club again after communicating his plan to leave months ago. Ornstein writes that Isak has no desire to reintegrate into the squad, which contrasts with a later hopeful update from colleague Chris Wall, who writes that Howe will be hoping to coax him back around. For the player himself, the matter is set, and it is maintained that Isak informed Howe of his intention to leave before last season ended. This came following then Director of Football Paul Mitchell telling the 25-year-old's representatives last summer that he would not yet be offered a new contract. It was then decided that the 2024-25 campaign would be his last at St. James Park, and it has been suggested since that a feeling of promises not being kept has motivated Isak to force a transfer. Liverpool are, of course, waiting in the wings following their unsuccessful first bid for Newcastle's No 14, which was worth around £110 million. Newcastle value Isak at £150 million, and it is widely reported that they would need to sign two strikers to replace their leading centre-forward as well as Callum Wilson before allowing him to leave for a fee in that region. The transfer window closes on September 1st, and the expectation remains that Isak will be a Liverpool player before the 7 p.m. deadline. Why Newcastle may hold off on business with Liverpool. Another wrinkle in the story comes with Liverpool heading to Tyneside for their second game of the new Premier League season on August 25th. It stands to reason that Newcastle may look to delay any deal for Isak until after that date so as not to strengthen the champions' chances of taking 3 points from St. James Park. There would still be a week to go until the window closes after that game, by which point Newcastle would clearly hope to have signed their new main striker. Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson, Porto's Samu Agahawa, Wolves' Jurgen Strand Larsen, Aston Villa's Ali Watkins, and PSG's Goncalo Ramos have all been mentioned as targets, while Brentford's Yoane Wissa is considered their likely Wilson replacement. Newcastle striker Isak determined to join Liverpool. Alexander Isak is determined to leave Newcastle United and join Liverpool this summer. BBC Sport has been told by several sources that it is the Sweden striker's ambition to join the Premier League champions before the deadline closes on the 1st of September. On the 1st of August, Newcastle rejected Liverpool's £110 million bid for Isak, prompting the Reds to consider walking away. BBC Sport has been told by several sources that it is the Sweden striker's ambition to join the Premier League champions before the deadline closes on the 1st of September. The Magpies rejected a £110 million bid from Liverpool for Isak on the 1st of August, with the Reds subsequently claiming that they were prepared to walk away from a deal. Newcastle manager Eddie Howe said following a preseason friendly defeat by Atletico Madrid that everything is in play when it comes to Isak's future, but stressed it was clear he cannot involve the striker in his current plans. As such, Isak is expected to miss Newcastle's Premier League opener at Aston Villa on Saturday 12:30 p.m. BS. The former Dortmund forward missed Newcastle's preseason tour of the Forest with a minor thigh injury. He then trained alone at former club Real Sociedad before returning to the UK last week. Isak, who scored 27 goals in 42 appearances across all competitions last season, has 3 years to run on his deal in the North-East. Newcastle have failed with several moves for strikers this summer, with Liam Delap opting to join Chelsea, Benjamin Sesko choosing Manchester United, and Hugo Ekitike moving to Liverpool. Interest remains in Brentford striker Yoane Wissa, who left the Bees preseason camp in Portugal in July because of his desire to join Newcastle. The 28-year-old returned to first-team training last week following constructive talks with head coach Keith Andrews, but the DR Congo striker remains keen on moving to Newcastle. Should a fee be agreed? Howe's side are closing in on the signing of AC Milan defender Malik Theo. The center-back is due to fly to Tyneside on Sunday night to finalize his £34.62 million move to St. James Park. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. World-class man OTD signing given major boost by Fabrizio Romano as new talks planned. The chances of Gianluigi Donnarumma joining Manchester United this summer have risen following a big update from journalists including Fabrizio Romano and Ben Jacobs, with a separate report claiming that new discussions have been scheduled. Donnarumma was one of Paris Saint-Germain's best players last season as they won an incredible quadruple of the Champions League, Ligue 1, Coupe de France and Trophée des Champions under Luis Enrique. PSG's hugely ambitious Qatari owners have chased the Champions League since buying a majority stake in the club in 2011, and they finally reached that goal. Donnarumma reaffirmed his place among the goalkeeping elite by putting in several amazing performances on PSG's route to Champions League glory. He has already been called, arguably, Italy's only world-class player by The Athletic in 2024. With his current deal expiring in June 2026, the former AC Milan star was expecting to be handed a bumper new contract by PSG to reward his top-class displays. However, he has been left disappointed by PSG's contract offers, which has seen negotiations grind to a halt. The chances of Donnarumma leaving PSG and joining another world-renowned club such as Man Utd or Manchester City have been growing in recent weeks. Transfer reporter Jacobs has revealed that the French giants view new signing Lucas Chevalier as their number one, which is why Donnarumma has been excluded from Enrique's squad for the UEFA Super Cup. PSG will face Europa League winners Tottenham Hotspur in Italy on Wednesday, but Donnarumma will not be involved. Romano added that Donnarumma will not sign a new deal at PSG. There's no agreement, and he will 100% leave the club. That will happen either this summer or via a free transfer in summer 2026. The shot-stoppers can't feel it is unfair the way he has been treated by PSG, who agreed a €55 million, £47.5 million package with Lille to make Chevalier his replacement. In a follow-up post on X, formerly Twitter, Romano wrote that Donnarumma's relationship with the PSG hierarchy is completely broken. In a major lift four-man OTD, the Premier League is his most likely destination. United are eager to sign an elite replacement for Andre Onana and are aiming to land Donnarumma before rivals Man City. It emerged earlier on Monday that United have planned a new round of talks with Donnarumma's agent, Enzo Raiola, for this week. Man OTD could sign Gianluigi Donnarumma for just £26 million. United have been alerted by the fact that PSG could accept bids worth just €30 million, £26 million, for Italy's number one due to the fact his contract is winding down. Team Talk revealed on August 3rd that Donnarumma is keen on joining United this summer. He is enticed by the prospect of playing for a club of United's stature, even if they cannot offer European football for this season. Sky Sports confirmed on July 31st that United are interested in making Donnarumma their latest statement signing, although they will have to work hard to land him before City. Pep Guardiola's side are spying a deal for Donnarumma even after the addition of James Trafford. Sources confirmed to Team Talk on June 17th that City had made an inquiry about his situation. A report claimed on Friday that City and Bayern Munich are both providing United with competition for Donnarumma. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.